Hi guys, hi everyone. Pablo is here from Blynk. Welcome to our webinar. This is actually the first one-on-one webinar that we are running, so there may be some bumps here and there, but I'm super excited to have all of you here. Thanks for choosing Blynk. Thanks for joining in today. So basically, um, today we would like to show you some basics of Blynk so that you better understand maybe some general concepts and other things and how to connect the first device. But first of all, I just wanted to say that the goal of this webinar is to hear your feedback. So I'm really looking forward to your questions in the second half. I would really like to go really quick so that you have a time for questions. So whatever you kind of had issues with, or actually you liked something, or you are struggling with, just let us know in the chat. We will definitely focus on your questions after I do. But yeah, well, let's dive straight in. Basically, today we are going through these topics. We don't have a lot of time, so I'd like to do it really quick. So first of all, I'll walk you through general concepts, like so that you better understand how things work in Blynk. Then we will talk about different ways of connecting the devices, and I'll try to run a couple of demos as well. And then we'll talk about the details of how to receive and send data, and a little bit of UI control if we have time, or if you will be interested in that. And then we will switch to Q&A. So yeah, let's dive straight in. And at this stage, I hope that you learned a little bit a little bit about Blynk already. But anyway, let's recap. So first of all, first thing you need to know is that Blynk is designed to scale. So whether you're working on one device or on a couple of devices, but if you plan to, or if you plan on working on multiple devices, it's already kind of built into the Blynk. And that's why we designed this thing called product templates, or templates as short. So basically, it's a set of configuration that is applied to different types of devices, so to certain type of devices, right? So basically, you create a template once, and then you can create multiple devices out of it. And if you look at my, I don't know if it's possible to switch really quick here. Oh no, I would need to get out. So yeah. If you look at my account here, these are my templates. I have a bunch of them. This is my sandbox where I experiment with a lot of devices. And yeah, you can see that some of the templates have one device, some of them have two devices, and most of them are one because it's an experimental. But I can easily start adding new devices to every template, and this will allow me to scale up. Then next one, what is inside of the template? So basically, there are a lot of things, and Blynk has a ton of different features on how to configure a product or template. But the main things that you need to understand I would like to focus today are these ones. So first of all, the data streams. Data streams is a kind of a data model or data pipe where you send data to Blynk, or from device to Blynk, or from Blynk interfaces to the device. And when you send the data, we automatically timestamp it. You know, Blynk is a real-time system, but also we store historical data as well. So all of that for your convenience, so you don't have to think about the backend infrastructure at all. It comes out of the box. Then the other type of data is metadata, and you might not use it as much today, but as your product develops, you will definitely find it really helpful. Metadata is kind of the data stream, but it's designed for data that is not used to change a lot. Like if you send temperature, it can be updated every second, minute, or the way how often you want it. But for metadata, it can be like a serial number that never changes, or MAC address that never changes, or it can be a building or a room, or pretty much any key value object that can be attached to the device. The next important part of the template is the events and alerts. I think everyone understands that in IoT, this is one of the top use cases, and Blynk has a really good and well-developed system of events and alerts. Like you create an event, which is vibration is too high, and then you can tie notifications, send a notification over email, over push notification to the app, or in some paid plans, you can send it over SMS as well. It also contains dashboards UI. You know, by the way, we have two different UIs. One is for the web application, and one is the mobile application. So they're not connected together. You can build different UIs depending on the screen that you are looking at. The next thing is, I think you learned it already, but I just wanted to recap on this one. It's authentication token. So authentication token, basically, it's a password that the device uses to connect to Blynk, and Blynk knows that, oh yeah, I know this device and I trust this device. So it's a security measure, but also a unique identifier. And there are different ways to get these tokens. And I'll try to cover this part because I think it's an important one. Next general concept I would like you to understand is that Blynk is a multi-tenant system, which means that once your project grows, or if you're working on a commercial product right now, then you are able to create a tree-like structure of organizations, and you can run your clients there. And every organization has a set of users, set of devices, and a set of permissions on how these users access these devices. The best part about Blynk is that set of permissions is configurable at every level of the organization. Like in this example, United Heaters, they have access to both US branch, Canada branch, and of course their own devices and users. But US branch will never be able to access anything else except for their things. And same applies to Miller Boiler Group. They will never be able to see anything else. At the same time, the root organization, in this case, the Warm Plus, they will be able to access all of the users, all of the devices, no matter what, because they are the kind of the administrator of the whole system. So I think these are the kind of the major things you would need to understand in Blynk that help you to develop things further. But the biggest question is how to connect my device. And I think that today we developed a lot of tools to connect pretty much any device. And we designed this decision, I would say, tree on how do you define what to use in different scenarios when you're working on a device. Yeah, so basically, number one use case, I think most of you are working on this one, is you control the firmware. Like you have an ESP32, you know how to write the code, you have Wi-Fi connectivity on board, and you just can use the Blynk agent and Blynk protocol. I would say that we will cover them today later on a little bit. And you can also use our MQTT implementation and HTTP API. But the beauty of these two guys here, of MQTT and HTTP, is that you can use any framework that you are comfortable with, like whether you're working on some, I don't know, Zephyr or Python. And yeah, so you can use their own implementation of MQTT or HTTP, and it's not related to Blynk. So you can do what you know, but still you will be able to send the data to Blynk. Of course, the Blynk agent for ESP32, for example, is like, it has a ton of features, and we'll talk about it later. But again, you can use your own path on how to do that. The next part is pretty new, actually. We recently launched data converters. So basically, this is designed for devices or services that can send, that you might not control the firmware and you might not develop it. For example, you buy it from the store, like some sort of a sensor or some sort of an actuator. And it has a configuration where you can route this device to HTTP or MQTT endpoint, and you can kind of configure that to send the data somewhere, right? So I think I'm back. Okay. Yeah, so basically you can just push the data in any format that is the device is sending it with. And we have a way to decode this message and put it into the Blynk kind of data model, data streams, metadata, events, and all of that. The next type of device is LoRaWAN or satellite. We have a ton of integrations for this, like the Things Network, Myriota, and other ways to connect your devices. Another common scenario for IoT is the gateway, where you have peripheral devices that are talking over Bluetooth or wired, or in a certain way, they're talking to the gateway, and gateway need to combine this data and maybe create a new device when it kind of identify that there is a new connection to the gateway and send the data. So it's like a control center that kind of operates with all the devices and send the data. So we recently introduced Blynk Gateway API that can be used for that. And another common way to work on gateways is a Node-RED. We highly recommend this as well. We use it, we recommend it to clients, we use it by ourselves. Basically, you can use either Blynk nodes and send the data in Blynk format, or you can again use MemQTT or HTTP nodes in Node-RED and do whatever you want, and then send the data to Blynk. And the last one, maybe there are more, but the main ones. It's a very interesting case where you might already have a device that has MCU that controls the logic of the device, and you just want to use ESP32, for example, just as a modem. So there's no like logic on the modem. You just need to send the data from the control board to the internet. In this way, it used very often when the design was already defined, but you need to make the product connected, or at the very beginning where you want to separate the logic, like this part controls my device and this part is responsible for communication only. In this case, we highly recommend to use Blynk NCP, which is a packaged model that you just upload, for example, to ESP32, and then with a simple serial connection, you connect it to the main MCU, and then you can exchange data. And Blynk NCP unlocks all the capabilities of Blynk, which is over-the-air updates, provisioning, data exchange, and all sorts of things that are available on the platform. So I think these are the major ones. If you have any questions on how to connect your particular device, let us know in the chat. But we will dive straight into two things. So first, I wanted to show the data converters, because I think it's a pretty cool feature and you might not use it yet, but I think you'll love it. So basically what I did, give me a sec. Yes, we go to data converters. So I already have this template that I created, and which I would like to use the data converters with. And I go to this tab here, data converters. There's one here already, but I will just delete it and start from scratch. Yes. So what's cool about that is that we use AI to parse, to kind of get the messages that are coming from the device, and we try to write a code for you. So there's some kind of AI magic here. So what do we have here? So we have an endpoint that I can just click to copy, and then I will use something that I created, by the way, also with AI, which is give me 1 second, like a Blynk virtual device. So it basically sends a certain payload at a certain interval. So I will put the endpoint here. I have the token of the device because I already created the device with the token, and we'll cover that later on. And I will send it every 15 seconds. So in the beginning, I will just give me a sec. Yeah, so I will start sending some data, and you already see that the data was captured by the endpoint. We will create. Let me stop, and I will just. Once we send like about 10 messages, the AI starts working, and it starts kind of understanding the pattern of the message and trying to convert it. By the way, while it's doing its job, we also are introducing the MCP server right now. So you can install it into your VS Code or the environment that you use, the IDE that you use, and you can like create data streams, you can create events directly from your code environment, which is pretty cool. So while it's working, yeah, now it's running a test. So basically it's confirming that the code was written and then the data can actually be parsed correctly. So yeah, we can see that my converter is ready, and it created data streams by itself. Like I have the airflow, water level, temperature, pressure, and it created all these data streams. And I think if I click save, just in case, I'll click save and apply. Okay, there's some AI can make some mistakes. But yeah, you can see that there's a lot of data streams that it created, like the airflow, pressure. So all of that was done automatically by AI. And now I can basically go to my dashboard, for example. Where's my dashboard? I can add a label. I can configure it to get the data from the battery charge, for example. Save it, save and apply. Okay, so there's a duplicate data stream, which AI sometimes creates duplicates. Give me 1 second, I'll try to find it. Which one is that? I don't see this data stream actually here. I'll try to find switch. Yeah, something as always on the demo doesn't work really well. So one power switch data stream. I don't know what it means. Okay, well, I hope that our team is watching. Will watch the recording. But basically, once the converter is done, I can go to my devices and it will start getting the data straight into the device. So this thing will keep posting and it will get going. So yeah, data stream is data converters is a really powerful feature. It supports right now HTTP and MQTT things. So whatever your device can send, it can be parsed, and you can even write some logic in this JavaScript code, and it's like super powerful. We are already using it a lot for our clients, and you can definitely use it and explore it. So highly recommend this feature. So next thing I wanted to focus on is the like a more standard path where you would write the firmware on the ESP32. So I will bring in my IDE. I'm using Platformio. It's a really good product, and I can highly recommend it to everyone who's working with electronics. I don't use Arduino, but you can do it as well there, of course. So this is a standard kind of code for Blynk. And if we look at the templates that I have here, I will be working with this one. So I have a couple of devices, and they have authentication tokens, and they have the firmware configuration. So there are two ways, like when you write the firmware, there are two ways: the simple way and a little bit more complicated but way more kind of capable of doing a lot of things. So the simplest way is this one. You put your template ID here, you name your device, you put your token here, you put your Wi-Fi credentials here, and basically you upload it and it connects to Blynk, right? So it's very, very easy to do. However, like you need to hard code your Wi-Fi credentials, and you won't be able to do over-the-air updates to this one. So it's it's very simple, but it's a very limited way of sending data to Blynk. So I would recommend using the agent, and I will go to that in the next the next section. The only thing I just wanted to we noticed that new Blinkers do this error a lot. For example, in the main loop, I would like to write some random number to data stream, which is a V1 data stream. So if you put it in the loop, then Arduino framework, it just cycles, right? So it's a loop. So you're constantly running on the MCU. So you will be just sending tons of messages in this case. And if you use delay after that, then you will be breaking some connection stuff that we built into Blynk. So in order to do that, in order to send data to Blynk, you need to use timers. And I will show you how it can be done in the agent. So yeah, this is the simplest way you can do, and you can check documentation for which boards are supported. Another way to find the best scenario for you is to use blueprints. Let me bring in blueprints. I think here. It's a kind of our production environment, so we have everything here. So if you go to get started, connect the device, then we've prepared a bunch of blueprints. So blueprints are really cool. So for example, I can find, like, you can type in here whatever you like. I will just start with ESP32. ESP32, and it already shows me a bunch of things that might work for me. So I think, yeah, agent overview. I think it's exactly what I need. So basically, what it has instructions on what to do. It has the code that it's going to be used. So you are like, come really prepared. But more than that, I can press the use blueprint and it will configure the whole template for me. So it will create all the data streams. It will create the web dashboard for me, like a simple one in this case, but still it can give you a feel. It will show you the data stream, which is just one in this case. But if you look at the different template, if different blueprints, you will be able to find something that fits your scenario. Okay, so now let's go back to the agent. So agent is a really powerful framework that we designed within Blynk. So I will go to my source file. So it has a little bit more files. But the main one is this one. So I have this device here, which is an ESP32 with some kind of LED matrix. It's Atom 5 matrix, I believe, LED matrix. So the setup is pretty much the same. We still need to do the templates. We need to kind of define a lot of things. However, as you can see, there is no indication of the authentication token, no indication of Wi-Fi credentials, because you can use your phone to dynamically provision the device. And I will not show it today because it's kind of very straightforward process. But once you flash the agent code on the ESP32, you automatically unlock a bunch of Blynk capabilities like Wi-Fi provisioning. So if you need to change the Wi-Fi credentials, or if you just need to kind of connect the device for the first time, the app will walk you through how to connect to your home or office Wi-Fi network. It automatically unlocks over-the-air updates. What else it has? It has a bunch of stuff, but let's focus on these ones for now. I think it will be more than enough. Okay, now the rest of the code would look the same. Whatever you use, the simple or the agent, the main file, it's pretty much the same. So let's look at the first thing that I wanted to show you, how to send data. It's a very common scenario. We need to send data. So you need to use timers, as I previously said. So here in the setup, I've declared the timer, which is included into the library. So you don't have to define or include any extra modules. It's part of Blynk. So I created a timer, which is set to 5 seconds, and it will send RSSI every 5 seconds, right? And then in the loop, you do the Blynk agent run, and then you do my timer run. So we really recommend separating whatever you want to do into separate functions and put them into timers. It's very easy to use. It's kind of right now, good IDE will just create a code for you for all the timers. It will do all of that. So definitely very important thing. And then this thing will work nicely. It will not break up your connection. It will not overflow Blynk server with tons of messages. It will not use your messages limits, right? So there are like a lot of benefits of using timers. Actually, that's the only way to send data to Blynk, I would say. And then I'm explaining what is actually happening within the timer. So in this particular case, I'm just sending RSSI every 5 seconds. And if we go to my devices, Atom demo, it's online. So I think every 5 seconds this RSSI should change. I hope so. Let's refresh just in case. I mean, yeah, it's very straightforward. Now I have a couple of items. By the way, button widget will be released very soon. So there were a lot of requests for this one, and right now we are testing how it works. So yeah, you have a sneak peek of that. But I have this switch that changes the UI. And in order let's look at the setup. So I'm looking at the switch setup here. So it's tied to the V5 data stream, and it sends 1 and 0 there. So in the code, I think you already learned it, but I'll just go through some basics. So basically, this is the V5. Actually, I'll go look at this simpler one, this brightness slider, right? So the brightness slider is sending from brightness percentage from 0 to 100 to the brightness V9 data stream. So I will go to my code, And this is how we process the incoming data. Blynk.Write means that Blynk is writing something to the V9, which means the Blynk interface, a Blynk app writing something to the V9 data stream. And there I define that the brightness, and I'm immediately mapping this parameter because the example is this another device with a screen. It's a Lily Go ESP32 as well device. So it maps the brightness of the screen from 0 to 25 to my slider of from 0 to 100. So when slider is 0, it's 0. When slider is 100, it's 255. And then it processes this function of setting the brightness of an LED, right? And it's very easy to demonstrate as well. It's a different device. So I will go, by the way, the template is the same, right? But I'm using it for different devices. So it's the different device. And if I operate the brightness here, I think, yeah, it should work. The car is here, as you can see, and I can, control it to whatever I want. So this is how easily everything is happening in real time. I added a little bit of a fade to make it a nice UI. So this is how you process the incoming data to Blynk. But you can do way more than just send the data back and forth. Of course, that's the beginning. This is what we do. But once you start working on the kind of a nice applications, let me connect my phone here. So, okay, so this is my the same application. You see the same devices are here. And this is my iPhone here. So basically what I wanted to show, if we go to the EV demo, for example, right? So by the way, I encourage you to think about the UI when you're working on it, like spacing the elements and using icons and images, because there are a lot of widgets that you can use. And yeah, just don't cram everything into a single place. Try to think about the UI. Today, AI can help you to kind of figure out, and later we will do our own AI that will help you to create a dashboard, something that we're working on as well. So what we can do here, for example, am I back? I don't know. Yeah, it switches between the phones sometimes. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so I don't know where you lost me, but basically I can change the color of the header from the device, and this is how I do it. So I assigned the header color change. So basically I'm writing a value like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something to a data stream number 3. And I'm using a command that you should definitely learn as soon as possible, which is Blynk setProperty. So every element, pretty much every element, every widget of Blynk has a set of properties. You can find it in the documentation. And in this case, I'm using changing the color of the header. So when the hardware receives 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it changes the color of the header. And you can do a lot of things, like you can change the icon or image, I think. You can change the image based on the state. You can change the opacity of the image. You can rotate images. And you can change the minimum and maximum of the slider, for example. So there are a lot of things that you can do from the hardware to control the UI. I definitely encourage you to kind of explore. Yeah, so this it doesn't like when I'm streaming my phone, so I will stop doing that straight away. It switches the cameras and microphone, unfortunately, between this one. But to be honest, I think that's a really good overview of what you can do and what you can do with Blynk. How do you decide how to connect devices? And I think we can switch to your questions. Marina, do you want to join? And yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Marina from the Blynk marketing team. One sec, I will upgrade my eyes. So I don't see a lot of questions. Hey, Paul, like that was amazing demo. Thank you so much for this. I think we will publish it for sure on our YouTube channel. So if everyone wants to take a look again, you will have a chance to do that. So the questions we have, the first question is from, let me see. Oh no, I can see myself.
Yeah.
The first question was from Wakar. Um, Hey, I'm working on a product which monitors water level and send the data to Blynk. I have tested the product for months and it's working fine. Now I want that product to be sold on the market. Is Blynk give any option to custom made dashboards which we share with people? I assume, Bakar, you mean like you want to have dashboards and apps under your brand? Yeah, if so, let us know, or if not.
Yeah, we can talk about both options. Basically, the option number one would be obviously to upgrade to the Pro plan, and then you can create this hierarchy of clients, and then you can create an organization, invite clients here, and moreover than that, you can have individual view of the device, or you can share like a dashboard, which we haven't covered here. I might kind of share a little bit. I have one here. Oh no, it's not this one. Give me one sec. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah, so I have these dashboards here where you can combine data from multiple devices into a single dashboard. So this is also available, and you can decide whether you want your customers to kind of have access to just this part, or they can have a list of the devices and all that. The only kind of a uh, difference between the enterprise plan and the pro plan is that first of all you have the branded solution, so you have your own app, your own console with your branding, your domain address and all of that. Plus you don't have to invite every single customer manually. So in pro plan you would need to invite them, and then they will be able to, either if you're using Wi-Fi a device like ESP32, they will be able to provision it and start using it, but you would need to create an organization for them and you would need to invite them. And in enterprise plan, it's like a finished product, so you don't have to worry about that. They register by themselves, they purchase your device, they connect it to the Wi-Fi or cellular or whatever you use, and then it just works.
Yep.
I hope that it answers the
Yeah, I would answer like if
no.
you have any follow-up. Yeah, Bakar says thanks, and yeah, if anything, you can follow up with me as well after the email, after the event. Sorry. So the next question we have regarding the ESP32 device: is there any other way to code ESP32 without data cable, like using Wi-Fi or anything like that, using some magic?
Well, definitely you can use the OTA magic. The only thing that there is always this first flash, right? So
Mhm.
first, you can just upload the bare minimum Blynk agent to your ESP32 without any coding whatsoever, just as the example, kind of as the blueprint or any example you can use. And after that, it unlocks the over-the-air updates, and after that, you can do your coding, your update your firmware. Just don't forget to increment the version change. There's a define version thing, and then you can do it over the year. So yeah, there is a certain magic, but you need to do the first step, which is a little bit manual. However, we are actually working on a way where you can possibly, especially for ESP32, you will be able to flash the device directly from Blynk, from browser for with Blynk. This is something that we are considering, but right now it's still you can still do it with Arduino, Platformio, and any other IDE that you do. First time flash, and then over the air updates after that.
Yeah, over there updates are cool. Like a lot of our users just love them. Okay. Next question is, what are all the new things we can expect from Blynk in upcoming updates? Maybe we should have left that for the end, but let's go.
Good one. I think definitely expect more AI capabilities. And just to share a little bit, we look at AI not as a kind of a magic pill solution to everything. However, we envision it as a assistant that helps you to be more productive, more effective, and you can operate faster. So this is our understanding of AI, or at least our vision of how AI can be implemented. So basically, the end goal is that you log into Blynk and you are telling us, hey, I'm working on a water level monitor. It's a commercial device. It should do this, and that. And we, first of all, create a full configuration. We might provide you with some code, and we can create a dashboard and all the UI and customize it for you. I mean, not me, not us, but AI. And yeah, so that's kind of one of the things. But we're also working on other features that are maybe more infrastructural. And I don't want to share them right now, but sign up for our LinkedIn, Twitter,
Yes,
what do we, Instagram, whatever, and yeah, and we share all of our updates there. So you definitely should stay. But yeah, 2026 is obviously very heavily influenced by AI, but it's still like like a glimpse. We already have a prototype of the custom widget that you can type, hey, I want this widget that we don't have on Blynk, but it can create it for you. So we already have some results on that.
that's exciting. I've seen that already, some demo. So yeah, stay tuned for the updates. Okay, next question. Can you explain about automation part for industries? We have Pro Plan. This is the question from industries from Viswa.
I
Maybe,
would like to better understand it.
yeah, maybe we can,
For
Viswa, if you hear us, maybe you can explain more your question. What exactly would you like to know? And if we have time till the end of the event, we will cover that. And in the meantime, we will switch to the next question. With organization, I invited people to a sub-organization, but they cannot see the tabs in the device dashboard. Is this a permission issue?
I can quickly show you while you were here, if I have here. Yeah, so I have it here. So basically, I know it's not very obvious, but if you go to the tab, there's this icon here, like a person, and then you can choose who can see that. So and then you set it to sub-organization users and the roles, and then they should start seeing the things in the tabs. Yeah, we should consider how to improve it. It's very obvious, but I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, Kaden says that it was
I
helpful.
mean, it was really good. First of all, to kind of meet all of you guys here. Thanks for joining in. There was a question whether we are where are we gonna have more sessions like that. I think for sure. If you liked it, let us know. Comment when you see it online, because we need your feedback. First of all, if we see that it's usable, if also any recommendations on how we can make it more practical, maybe maybe we can vote for some topics that you're interested in, and some details that you would like to learn. That will be very helpful, and it will help us to kind of create more content like that for you.
Yep, it was great to have all of you here. One last question I see from Milton: if we have a plans to create M5 stack ready blueprints. I think we can think about that, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's I mean, it's pretty much ESP32. Oh yeah, the only thing that I missed is that. Okay, yeah, we definitely need another one, because Blynk.Agent has some cool stuff where you can assign buttons and you can create your own indications. Like I created this indication for online, and I didn't change a thing. I just changed kind of a couple of lines of code in the config, and yeah, and there's like a button which can erase the Wi-Fi credentials. So yeah, we can definitely dive deeper into ESP. Sorry, into the agent capabilities, but you are also welcome to explore. We try to keep our documentation updated. It might not be ideal, but still, it has a ton of stuff that is useful. And also, send us feedback. Create messages on the forum. We are reviewing it. There are other blinkers there, so yeah, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Pavlo.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You guys. See you in our next webinar.